All right. Well, hey, welcome back to another podcast episode. This podcast is kind of come and gone, and I really took some to figure out what's most important to me. And all I keep coming back was the fact that I've been in multiple different companies. I've started multiple different companies. I've got a couple of different companies that do fairly well, and sales has really been the driver into what really intrigues me and why I continue to show up. And I know all this podcast thing has always been something I want to do, and I could just never figure out like what topic I wanted to make it. I do something for a second and then it would just not feel right. So I keep coming back to this thing of sales. And so I want to just spend a few minutes with you here and just give you a sales tip, right? And so that's really going to be the flavor podcast. Really, that if you're running a team of a and you're and really chat with you about how your CRM, right? How to apply the follow-up strategy. Now, we can go a million different with follow-up. That's not this conversation. I want to show you guys that it is not as hard as we oftentimes make it when it comes to working our CRM. What's a CRM for those of you that don't know? It's a contact relationship database, right? I don't know really what the M stands for, management system or something like that, right? So contact relation management system, right? So how do I manage all the contacts that I've had over the course of a week, a month, a quarter, a year, 2 years, 5 years? You get it, right? So if you guys are actually out there selling, right? It doesn't matter the widget. I could be selling cell phones. I could be selling soap. I could be selling real estate. I could be selling whatever the widget is. It doesn't matter. Here's the one thing that you need to do to simplify all of it, right? We are not smart enough. This is kind of a news flash to some of you, but none of us are smart enough to remember conversations that we've had some time ago. If you're in the sales industry and you're actively working it and you're aggressively working sales and you're being proactive about it instead of passive about it, you're never going to remember the conversation from last year or last week, let alone last year, right? So here's one way to simplify it with three different things, right? So I call it the red light, the yellow light, and the green light system. Red light, yellow light, green light system. Does not matter what industry you're in, does not matter what service you're providing, does not matter the widget that you're providing. Every CRM database out there has what they'll call a lead status field, right? Or maybe it's a label in your CRM, or maybe it's a pipeline stage in your CRM. But what you need to do is you need to log in to your CRM. You need to create the label, the pipeline system, the lead status, right? Whatever the property is in one of those things, you really label it red light, green light, yellow light. Or let me just kind of say red light, yellow light, green light, right? Think about a stop, a traffic signal, right? And what I really want you to do is think about it this way. If you have green lights, we'll call them fresh ups, we'll call them new leads, we'll call them hot, we'll call them active, we'll call them on your website looking at whatever it is. Maybe they're opening your emails and you can see it because you got a good email platform. Whatever it is, if they are hot, and this is going to go against the grain a little bit, they become green light. Go do whatever required to follow that person up and get the sale. Green lights, call them once a day, every day, until they tell you one thing. I'm going to do business today, I'm going to do business with you in the future, or I'm never going to do business with you and quit calling me. But they're going to disposition your follow-up practices based on that response, right? So green light once a day, right? Till the end of time, in the proper way. Yellow light, right? After the first week of a new lead, let's say, right? New lead comes in, they're green light, boom, 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 we're going. One call a day, hammering them, right? Yellow light. For me, I might take my green lights for 14 days. I might take my green lights for 3 weeks. It does not matter. Just put something in place that you can stick to. When they become yellow light, I call them one time a week. Okay. Same thing. I'm looking for the same disposition. I'm looking for, am I going to do business with you today, Josh? I'm going to do business with you in the future, Josh. Or you know what? Go away. I'm never going to do business with you. You're the worst salesperson and the worst person in the world. Never call me again. Then I would disposition them according to my program, right? According to my playbook. And we can talk about that later in life and later in another segment, but that's a topic for another conversation. Last one is red light, right? Red light means, look, nothing's really happening with this person. If somebody were to disposition themselves in a conversation like, I'm never going to do business with you again, then I would probably put them on a red light, which means I call them one time a month. So remember this: green light, whatever your playbook states, it's one call a day for however many days. Then you take that status, that pipeline, that label or whatever, and make it yellow light. Once it's a yellow light, one call a week, right? Once it's disposition red, right? Determining based on your playbook what red means, then it goes to one call a month. Hey guys, I hope that sales tip helps you. It's helped me a lot to simplify this thing. I oftentimes overthink everything, try to complicate it. And, with all the systems and the tools and the softwares and living in this day and age it's super, super easy to do is complicate things. So green light, yellow light, red light, one call a week on the green, or one call a day on the green light, one call a week on the yellow light, one call a month on the red light. Disposition your CRM the proper way. And I promise this will work for you. We'll catch you later.